So in this lecture, we'll have a look on how we can better organize the tests that we already have. And I'm pretty sure that you will run into the following problem. So when you're trying to log to the console, for example, the contents of JsonData like this, you will most certainly get this error here. So if you look at the test results, you will find here a reference error saying JsonData is not defined. And this might be initially a bit confusing because obviously you have defined JsonData here and here. So how can it not be defined? And actually, because you define JsonData inside this anonymous function here, JsonData is only available inside this function. And on this level here, you're obviously outside that function. So this is why you're getting this error, because JsonData is not defined. So what you have to do is then define JsonData once more. And then you will not get this error anymore. Now the problem with this approach is that now you have defined JsonData 3 times. So one here, and one here. And it's obviously a bit of a repetition. So every time you want to use JsonData, you need to parse it and save it in a variable. It's a lot of boilerplate code that you actually do not need. So what we can do at this point is to take JsonData and to move it right here after the status code is 200. So we first make sure that the status code is 200, we test that, then we can parse the response, because probably what we'll get back is a JSON object. And once we have that, JsonData is available to the pm test functions and the anonymous functions as well, which means we can simply remove it from here and remove it from here. And then we'll only have JsonData defined once, but we can use it everywhere. So as you can see, I get no errors. The test results still work. And I'm using here inside the test, and I'm using JsonData also outside of everything on this level. Now what you could do also is to rename JsonData in response, because it's a more appropriate name. Or response data, or whatever you like. You can just use it with a variable that you like. So I generally tend to use response. So this is why I will put everywhere where JsonData was response. And this will continue to work. And additionally, instead of using var in JavaScript, it's a bit more modern to use const. So using const in this case, because response will not get initialized again. So we get value from parsing the response that we get from Postman by using pm.response.json. So we have here a JavaScript object. This is something that we do not reinitialize during the test execution. So this is why this can be a constant. And modern JavaScript standards sort of stay away from using var and focus and rather use const and let. And we'll get to those a bit later in the course. So that's about it for this lecture. Hopefully you will be able to organize your tests much better, reduce repetition, and actually use the variable names that you feel more comfortable with, or which for your case are more expressive. That's about it, and see you in the next one.